All right, welcome back from the break. We are here at the RX Muscle Studios in Westbury, New York. I got our whole panel here. I got Colleen Brennan to my right, Jimmy the Bull to my left, and Corrine O'Farrell to his left. And we're going to add one more person to the panel to play the special game that we got planned for you. What would Dave's dad say? All right, and the person we're going to bring to this panel is my good friend. He was here a couple months ago. He attempted to kill himself by jumping off the Verrazano Bridge. He made it. He's back, better than ever. He's on the recovery path. He's none other than Larry Youshaw. Let's bring him in. Come on, Larry.
You know, Dave, we should have had like a little bridge here, model of a bridge on the desk.
Yeah, we should have had a bridge in there. You should have built one.
If I would have known, I would have brought one.
Larry, welcome to the show. What's this, Larry? This is a gift for me?
Gift. Is that a paycheck?
Is there cash in here? This looks like an Italian gift, right? Yeah. Let me see what this says. A gift for you, an hour massage. Now, who's this with?
Marsha Eisen.
Probably with him.
Now, who's Marsha Eisen? That's Body and Balance, Wonton, New York. Oh. Is this your personal masseuse?
Yep, she's helping me recover.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's very generous of you, Larry. I'm going to go use this massage because I can use one. Don't be jealous, Colleen.
I am.
Yes. I saw her. You see her staring at that
massage? I'll get my own.
She's going to swipe this for me when I'm not looking at it. I have a feeling.
Don't leave it out.
I'm going to leave it over here. Jimmy won't touch it. No, I sent the masseuse to massage Jimmy once. She said, I'm never going back. She's like, it's like steel. His joints are like steel. You remember Marianne?
Yeah, I remember her, yeah.
She said she'll never massage you again.
I know.
Can you imagine that? The only person who would ever turn down money.
She was very uncomfortable doing it.
Well, because you're like, your joints don't move.
Yeah.
You might be too much man
I
fat.
was in Manhattan one time and I had the Japanese chicks, they walk on your back?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were hysterical laughing. I guess they're used to like little cruddy old men, so I was like...
Did you get the happy ending?
I got the happy ending.
You did?
By both of them.
Really? See, I went to Amsterdam. I wanted a real massage, and you can't get one there. You can only get a happy ending. Yeah, I didn't want that. I wanted a real massage, and
so you didn't get it.
They give you a real massage.
No, they don't give you a massage.
Yeah, they do. And then
for 5 minutes. I wanted a real sports massage. Now I got one, thanks to my good friend Larry. So, Larry, how's everything going since move the microphone a little closer to your face there? Since you made the attempt to jump off the bridge, and luckily you lived to all our pleasure. What's been going on?
I want to hear the story.
Oh, you weren't here. That's right.
Yeah, I want to hear the
give us a little recap again, just for the people who might not have heard the story. What happened? You were very depressed in your life, and you did some research. You told us.
Went on the internet. I was depressed. I would come home from work earlier and earlier and earlier, and more.
And Larry's a lawyer too.
And I just was. And then I hit a point where the depression really got into me. I tell people I'm physically sick. They say come work out. You can. No, I can't move. It was it was really crazy.
So you're just going to work at home, basically.
And barely work, 90 minutes. That's
oh really?
Really
yeah.
Work, is it?
Were you just paying the bills, basically?
Right, like a bare bones existence, eating a can of beans, a cold can of beans.
Oh really? And you're an eater.
Yeah. Not today.
So let me ask you something. You didn't seek any help at that point? Like when you knew you were getting depressed, you didn't go see somebody, Maybe...
Actually, I did. Now I remember. I did go. I checked myself into a hospital in
Nassau I didn't
County,
know that. Yeah.
and I spent 2 weeks there, but it didn't really work.
No. Were they putting you on antidepressants and stuff like that?
Yeah, they didn't really hit the nail on the head. I walked out of there, and I was kind of like...
Did they have pretty nurses there? Because that does make a difference.
Well, maybe
actually, the answer to that question is hell no.
Well, that's probably what happened.
They were so ugly, in fact, that they made them want to jump off a bridge.
Last time I was in the hospital, all the nurses wanted to bang me, so I was enjoying my stay.
No, in Staten Island Hospital, mucho pretty nurses. Yes,
you're in Staten Island too. You should stop in there, maybe.
I have to go
jump
back
off the bridge and you check right in. They'll take you right
you are.
Oh, the Verrazano's right there. I could probably swim to Staten Island after I jump off.
That's what I did.
That's what Larry pretty much did. Yeah, he swam to the rocks.
Swam to Staten Island side.
So let me guess. So you got out of the hospital, it didn't do shit. So you went back to work at this point, right?
I went home and I was like, I was trying to get off Xanax. I was like, I can't get off of it. I came back. I started doing it again, and right back where I started. And I was on the internet.
Now most people take Xanax and go to sleep, like I do.
That's what I was doing.
Oh, you are. Oh, okay. You weren't taking.
I wanted to be asleep.
I got you. All the time.
If you sleep 24 hours, you are dead.
Yeah, right. So you said to yourself, enough. I'm going to research the best way, the most effective way to kill myself pain-free.
100%.
And he found out that 98% success.
All that stuff is, they say the side effects are
Suicide?
Yeah, like Zoloft. And all
But
that
this is not antidepressant. This was just, he was just taking Xanax, which is like an which is more of a
he took
muscle
it a lot,
relaxant.
so that could make you more depressed.
Well,
the purpose is anti-anxiety.
Anti-anxiety,
If someone
right.
says, who knows? Like, my
Yeah,
house is burning down.
So basically what Larry did was he realized that, according to the internet, there was a 98% success chance of killing yourself jumping off a bridge. So he figured that was a good bet. But it didn't happen. The guide was not ready to take you yet. You survived the jump, swam to the rocks.
You didn't break your fucking neck or your back.
He did.
That's a long ass
My
fucking
back's kind of
drop.
still broken.
Yeah, his back is pretty fucked up. So he came here. He told us the story.
You ever watched that show, 1,000 Ways to Die? It's just like this. Like, that's all you had to do. Fuck the internet. You could have watched that TV
There's
show.
a book called The Final Exit.
Right.
Okay, I was in the South Nassau Hospital in
Right.
Looney Bin the first 2 weeks.
Right.
And they're so dumb there that I was reading this book called The Final Exit in there, which is every single method, like how to go into a box and burn charcoal.
God.
and
Well, where'd
What?
you get
And
the
they're
book?
Amazon.com.
Oh my! And you why would you buy that book while you were in the hospital?
I was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but he's
So you-
right,
So
though.
you were.
He's
So it's a
right.
good thing they kept you there because
How did they give him the book? Oh, by the way, your book is here.
how to kill yourself,
How the
right?
fuck- what kind of fucking place is that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's insane. Yeah.
That's the insanity. I mean,
So luckily they kept you there long enough to where you realized
no,
you don't
this
want.
is the first one, and then I came
Oh,
out,
oh,
and
okay.
then because he said, "Didn't you try to seek help?" And I did.
Oh,
That
the
was
first-
in the summer, so it happened in October. This
So,
was like
so
July.
while you were in the hospital, you wanted some casual light reading, so you bought a book on how to kill yourself.
yes.
And the fucking idiots give it to him.
Yeah, they gave it to him, right?
No,
yeah.
they didn't give it to
No
me.
wonder why
They
it wasn't
said,
successful.
You got a box. They don't open it and check. They'll check you coming in. You know, I mean, it's just the way
They give you a box. They don't even know there could have been a
They could have been a loaded handgun in the
kilo of
box.
cocaine in there.
Yeah,
Here's
they
your
could have been a
box.
loaded handgun in there too.
Yeah, right, yeah. You know, I got another thing, though. The Grand Canyon. When I went to the Grand Canyon, they got a book there. It's this fucking thick. Suicides at the Grand Canyon. How many people kill themselves?
Well,
at the
that's a
Grand
good. Probably that would have worked if you would have done that.
No,
you know?
the most suicides. Like
Well,
everyone goes
because
there.
you don't live when you jump off the Grand
it's like-
Canyon.
I couldn't believe it. The guy showed me the book. It was like literally like this thick.
It works,
Let's
yeah.
be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, mucho people kill themselves
Right,
in the
right.
world.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So Larry, all right. So you're out of the hospital. You came back here. You came to the show. You said,
Right.
"Look, I'm going to start working out again
Yep.
and get lean."
Word.
And I can see your arms. You're very lean right now. What are you weighing?
I'm not. My stomach's not lean, but
No?
I do a lot of boxing with.
Are you back to boxing?
But no, I'm lifting. I love lifting too, and
So you got your boxing coach here, right?
yep,
Let's get him on the side.
national champion.
Frederick Samuels. Why don't you take a seat next to Larry over there, and we can ask him. So now, what do you? I know you used to box when you were a kid, and I told the story about how we would box so much in his basement that I didn't want him to get hit anymore because it's such a bother. It hurts. So Larry's like, "You could just hit me, and I won't hit you." I said, "Okay." And I was a real sadistic motherfucker when I was a kid. So I would be boxing him and hit him in the face and knocking him silly, and he loved it. So you're back to boxing.
Well, I don't want to say that. No, he gives me a workout. We hit the pads.
So Frederick, is Larry still pretty potent at 40-something years old? Talking to the microphone, please.
Larry's okay. He's a smooth talker most of the time. He don't really like to work out.
Oh, he's lazy, really? Larry, that's not the Larry I know. The Larry I know is like, let's go for another 3 hours.
That was like last year.
No, but I'm coming to him at night. He doesn't know what I did during the day.
What do you do during the day now?
You know what I've been doing?
No.
Stairs in the hospital. Go up 17 flights and down. Just do it because your heart rate goes up so much.
So you're training.
And then I go to this box with him, exhausted. I am. Still,
Are you eating? You look like you lost a lot of weight.
Today? Well, no, I didn't. Yeah.
Well, let's see. Why don't you take off your shirt for us? Show us
That's
what you
a little
got.
much. What about like a leg or an arm? Like just start dip
wing.
the toe in the water.
All right, let's see the arms. You still got
Shoulder's
some.
my best part, I think.
You got the good triceps too. Show us the triceps to the camera.
Oh man.
Larry always had good triceps in high school. Let's see the biceps.
From my grandma.
Let's see the
grandma
biceps.
triceps.
Hit a bicep shot. Let's see.
I haven't done any of that.
They're
been
still
doing
pretty
legs.
good though. Why don't you start weight training? Because you got the good physique.
That's what I am doing.
Oh, you
I
said
go
you're
to
running
Big Al's.
steps.
No, I do steps like
Yeah.
to lose weight and get
Yeah.
my inner, heart strong. And I go to Big Al's all the time.
Right.
I
Now
mean,
you're able to do all this. You don't have any injuries from the jump.
I mean, when I first got out and I went to get a massage. I was like, wow. I said to myself, if I could just go swimming. That's how it started. And I went swimming, and I said, wow, I can swim.
Well, we know you can swim. You swam when you jumped into off the
I
bridge.
double check. And then,
I just gotta say something, Larry. You must be the only guy I know who jumped off the Verrazano Bridge.
And lived.
Only 2 people live out of 100.
yeah, we're gonna track her down. She's 46.
I mean, I don't think people out there
Yeah,
realize the Verrazano Bridge.
It's like 220 feet, right?
That motherfucker is.
It's high.
That's a fucking high ass bridge, man.
220 feet, Jimmy.
I know, man. Because I go over that fuck. That's up there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Next time,
yeah.
just
Well, anyway,
You know, some dude died on the Williamsburg Bridge. I don't know if you read that. It was a few years ago.
I'm always get posted
hit the
from
back
my
of a
friends.
car.
It's in
On a
every bridge
motorcycle?
jump I'm aware of. It's becoming an association.
He hit the back of the car, this guy.
You're
They
in a
took the guy
fraternity.
off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Did
He
they
was
really?
up and they got him down.
Really?
Last week.
No, this dude died. He hit the back of a car with his bike and catapulted off the bike. He didn't die with the car. He flew off the Williamsburg Bridge and he died when he hit the wall.
Wow.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Now, Larry is part of a very special fraternity, obviously, now, people who've jumped off bridges. And he's,
really?
And there's only a very small percentage that lived. But more importantly, we have him here today because Larry knows my dad probably better than anyone but me here. Larry grew up around the corner from me. He shoveled my dad's walk for many years. He raked leaves. Who knows what else my dad had you do.
English tutor for the SAT, the vocabulary.
Oh, that's right.
He was the vocabulary coach. Remember? The
Larry,
vocabulary.
Larry decided he was going to take the SAT. He was going to memorize the entire SAT book of words, so he would know vocabulary. So would you memorize A to G or something like that?
I said to your dad, you're an English teacher, ask me words.
Well, yeah,
And
we said-
he would do it. He enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah.
He
So
liked
my
it.
dad would throw these words, but he only knew A to G. So if he did H or I, he wouldn't know the word. But he knew every word. He knew every vocabulary word from A to G. So yeah, that's good. So he knows my dad. So I think that Larry might do very well on this thing. And we're giving
the
away a
odds are never right.
free jug of
Verrazano
ice.
was supposed to win.
A free
The horse.
yeah.
Remember?
Well, you're talking about the Kentucky Derby.
Right. I mean, like
Larry
odds.
texted me. He's like,
I
you
thought he
should
was talking about the other horse.
No. Larry told me to bet on the horse
I got one
Verrazano.
more question for
Yeah.
Larry. Larry, when you went onto the bridge to jump, did you leave the car on the parkway?
I
or?
just stopped the car right in the right lane.
See, if you were here, you would know all this
Salute.
stuff.
Yeah, he left the car there.
And
If you were here, you would know all this
I thought he was
stuff.
going to take like a bicycle and then...
You can't take a bike on the bridge. What are you, out of your mind?
Not the Verrazano, no.
No. All right, let's go to the game here because we're running out of time here. The game is called "What Would Dave's Dad Say?" So I went to my dad's house. Don't look at the answers, and I asked him a bunch of
I have my
questions.
glasses on.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a multiple choice of what the possible answer could be, and we're going to go around the room and we're going to write down your answers, and then we're going to play the video and see if what my dad actually said. And
So you're going to ask us the questions you asked him. We're going to answer.
right, and then we're going to see what my dad said. See
We
if you
got
guys got it right.
multiple choice on the answers?
Multiple choice on the answers because some of the answers are so out of there that you'll never get them if I don't give you multiple choice. So it's what do you think my dad would say? That kind of thing. All right, you ready, guys? All right, here we go. Question number 1. I asked my dad what his favorite movie was. Okay, and he listed his top 3, but he had one favorite movie. Here's the choices. Top 3 movies. One of them being his favorite. First choice, Raging Bull. That's choice A. Choice B is The Godfather. And choice C is A Streetcar Named Desire. That's with Marlon Brando. All right, we're going to go around the room. Let's go to Colleen Brennan.
I'm going to say C.
Streetcar Named Desire. Jimmy, what are you going to say?
Hey.
You're going to say The Raging Bull, okay? Kareen knows because she was there. Larry,
What's there?
Youshaw. What would my dad say is his favorite movie?
B.
You think The Godfather. Okay. Do you want to venture a guess, Pete? What do you know? Did you look at the answers already?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Pete, the producer, what's your guess? It's between Raging Bull, The Godfather, and A Streetcar Named Desire.
I'm going to say Streetcar Named Desire.
All right.
What do you say?
That was
Freddie?
a
Just
A
listen
or
to
B?
That was C.
C.
Johnny, play the clip.
Freddie P says B.
Freddie says The Godfather? Okay.
I have 3 names down here. Raging Bull, The Godfather 1, and Streetcar Named Desire.
Which is the favorite?
Streetcar Named Desire.
Streetcar Named Desire. So Colleen B, and I think Colleen's been looking over my shoulder.
I'm
and sneaking
not.
the answers. I really do. Look at my eyes. Are you cheating?
Wait,
Did you
No.
see the sheet?
I got a question for Colin.
What? I think she's cheating.
What's the movie about?
I don't friggin' know.
Fucking sort of fucking
She
face.
looked at the sheet. I think she went and looked at the sheet. I had it on my desk all day. She probably knows
I
all the
know
right
what
answers.
the fucking movie's about. That's why I couldn't answer.
I know his dad.
No, you saw the fucking shit.
I think she saw it too.
She didn't even know the movie, but she
I
knew
think
Paul
she
was
did.
going to pick it.
I-
But she had no idea what the movie's about.
All right. Question number 2. I asked my dad who your favorite actress is. I said, Dad, I want to know who your favorite actress is and why. And here's your choices. Choice A, Ingrid Bergman. Choice B, Marilyn Monroe. And choice C, Marlene Dietrich. Okay? Ingrid Bergman, Marilyn Monroe, Marlene Dietrich. Colleen B.
C.
Marlene Dietrich, okay.
She
Jimmy the
studied
Bull.
She studied that fucking thing, man.
Jimmy the Bull.
I'm going to say Ingrid.
Ingrid Bergman, okay. Larry Youshaw.
I mean, how can you go against Marilyn Monroe? That's nuts. But I'll go with Marilyn Dietrich.
Marlene
She's
Dietrich.
more like intellectual.
All right, John. Let's Pete, the producer.
He probably saw the fucking sheet, too.
No, he
With,
didn't.
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. Okay, Johnny, play the clip.
My favorite actress is Ingrid Bergman, and it's hard to explain when it comes to acting why one woman is a favorite of yours over somebody else. But let's not dismiss the fact there's a great deal of sexual undertone to this. So when you pick an actress, it's not only because she's great at emoting, which quite a number of other ones are also, but Ingrid had the look on her face of a woman who would never double-cross you if she loved you. And because she had that look on her face, not the bitch look of the sex goddesses, who you knew they would leave you the first time to turn around to a guy with more money in his pocket, right? Ingrid was there for you through hell and high water. And that's why I loved her.
All right, the correct answer, Ingrid Bergman. Jimmy the Bull gets that one right. What made you guess Ingrid Bergman for that one?
I mean, Marilyn Monroe, you know. Everybody likes Marilyn Monroe.
You knew my dad wouldn't go for that. Yeah. Well, you guys. Unfortunately, everyone in the studio hasn't really seen my dad's explanations for it, but because that's just for the live audience. But my dad said Ingrid Bergman was the pure woman, the woman like you would want to marry, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Marilyn Monroe, you know.
All right, here's the next question. I asked my dad who his favorite poet was, because my dad's into poetry. Who is his favorite poet? Here are the choices. Choice A, Emily Dickinson. Choice B, T.S. Eliot. And choice C, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Colleen, who's my
B.
favorite poet?
B.
T.S. Eliot, okay. Jimmy the Bull?
Could you read that again?
Favorite poet? Emily Dickinson, A, T.S. Eliot, B, or Henry Wadsworth Longfellow?
I'm going to go with C.
Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, okay.
Yeah.
Larry Youshaw. Who would my dad
C.
say?
C.
Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, okay. Pete, the producer, you want to take a guess? Pete really doesn't know my dad very well, but, he can still guess.
I'll go with A.
A, Emily Dickinson, okay. Johnny, play the clip.
That's so easy that it's embarrassing. T.S. Eliot. Now, have anybody here ever heard of him?
They're not teaching us, just explain why. Just say,
Okay. T.S. Eliot was the first intellectual poet that I had ever read. And I said, what is this? His poetry is really about ideas, about culture, psychology, all these philosophy. He was writing love poems. This guy was putting our culture down. It's very ephemeral, short-sighted, shallow, and every other word that you could fit in that category. And at that time, I was seeing the same things about our culture that he was. And he got me in. And then I realized Not only had he stuck me in that way, but that as I began writing my poetry, unconsciously, I was becoming T.S. Eliot. All right, Ken.
All right, the correct answer, T.S. Eliot. Colleen B gets it. I think she's cheating. I think she just threw us off in the last one. She threw one away. You know how when you cheat on a test, Jimmy, when you're a kid, you get a couple wrong because you don't want the teacher to suspect that you got the answers. Yeah. Well, Chris Aceto got it right live. He's on the hey Chris, he's on the live feed and he got it right. So he must know my dad better than we think.
I don't even know those guys. So
well, it was a guess.
I only picked Longfellow because it's like a porno star.
All right, I asked my dad the next question. I said, Dad, who is the author of your favorite poetry line? Like everyone has their own favorite quote from poetry or the famous line. And here's the selections. Okay, is it T.S. Eliot? Is it Emily Dickinson, or is it himself? His favorite poetry line of all time. Was it written by T.S. Eliot, Emily Dickinson, or was it written by himself? Colleen B.
Oh, boy. I'm going to say himself.
Okay. Jimmy the Bull.
Yeah, I duped that.
You going to say the same thing? Larry Youshaw.
Emily Dickinson.
Emily Dickinson. Pete the producer.
Yeah, definitely himself.
All right. Play the clip, Johnny. Roll it.
Is one I wrote. And it should have been in somebody else's poem. For you are the music while the music lasts. What do you think of that, darling? For you are the music while the music lasts. And you know what? As soon as it stops, we're in trouble.
Well, we know my dad is an egomaniac because his favorite poetry line is written by himself. Chris Aceto got it right. Colleen B gets it right. She's definitely cheating, right, Jimmy?
I got it right.
Oh, everyone got it right. Well, you guys just copied her because now you maybe I should go to her last.
I don't even do it.
Why would he do his own thing, Jimmy? Talk into the microphone, please. I know you've done this show a few
Of course,
times.
he's a guinea like me. That's why.
Oh, do you have any poetry? Do you write poetry?
Oh, I do.
What? Give me some of your. You have any? Can you recite any?
I'll bring it in next time.
You don't have anything memorized? Your favorite line?
I have to read it. My memory's going.
Larry, have you written any poetry?
It's funny you mention that. Like 20 years ago,
Really?
and someone who's a fan of your show texted me the whole poem that I wrote.
Really?
For her 20 years ago.
What was the girl's name? Do you want to mention it, or is it going to get her in trouble?
Laura. I mean, Yevchak. 20 years ago was her name. You met her.
Yeah, I did. I remember that.
We did a show.
You did a show, right? You had won, or you came in third, but you won Best Poser, right?
That's the truth.
That's right. Holy mackerel!
And
And you wrote her a poem,
Yeah.
and never to be heard. She still has the poem.
I can't believe it.
Wow. And she's married and has kids, right?
That's what I heard.
Now, if you were married to some woman and she had a poem from some other guy, would you be upset with that, Jimmy? Would that bother you?
They're watching it now.
Would that bother you? Sorry, I got to throw you under the bus here, but
You asked me if my wife.
had saved the poem from some guy who gave it to her like 20 years earlier from high school.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, that's okay. It's a long enough time period.
Yeah, it's good.
I think she just says, "Don't worry, I'll never go for him. He's nuts." That's what they
He
all
jumps
say.
off bridges and stuff.
Yeah, like what do you
Sometimes
think?
some of the girls, I think maybe the bridge thing you might get you some women.
Let me tell you the
Because they
story.
think you're like
You
a
wanna hear funny
daredevil.
Story?
Yeah, sure.
Go to the wake of family member died, and of course, you always take notice of the prettiest girl in the room, and everyone knows about the jump.
Is
That's
everyone
it.
pointing? That's the guy who jumped
They
the
just
bridge.
come right up to me because they know I'm like, "How you feel? When's the next one?"
Yeah. Which
So-
is not really cool,
People are
which is not really
people
cool.
are
yeah.
nuts. I'm introduced as
Larry, if
jump.
I was you, I'd get like a shirt made up or something.
Yeah, they want to do that.
I survived the Verrazano
Yeah,
Bridge.
but-
Parmesan, try this motherfucker.
You know, it's like Silver Linings Playbook. The craziest girl, she walked right up to
she
you.
can't-
I tried to kill myself too. So you damn hot, so keep talking.
That's not the kind of girl you want to hang out with, probably, right now.
That works.
It's like laws of,
You attract who you
put
are.
Two crazies in the room and woof, right?
Yeah.
They connect.
Well, she liked that. Was she good looking?
Absolutely.
Did
You
you
never
get her
saw the
number?
movie House of Santa Fog?
Hold on. Did you get her number?
We travel in the same circles.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get
Yeah.
it, but did I say?
Does she
can-
still want to kill herself, though?
Absolutely not.
Oh, good.
We're
So
both on
maybe-
the same path of
so
like
maybe that's
manic
good.
working out.
That's
Just
good.
Nuts.
All right,
working
good.
on nuts.
Let's go to the next question. All right. I asked my dad, how many times have I been married? How many times have I been married? The choices are 0, this is what my dad would say, okay? 0, 1, or 2 times. What will my dad say? How many times I was married? 0, once, or twice?
I'm going to say 0.
You're gonna think he doesn't think I was married at all?
No.
Jimmy,
Nah, he said you were married twice.
you think he's why twice? You say that? Oh, I'll come to you after. Let's go to Larry Youshaw.
Twice.
You're gonna think he said I was married twice. Now you guys all do know that I've only been married once, right? Okay. Pete, what is my dad gonna say?
He's gonna say once.
Okay. Let's see what my dad say. Will my dad know that I was only married once? Play the clip, Johnny.
Of course you have.
How many times?
Twice.
Okay. By the way, I was only married once, but yeah. Okay.
I
That's all right.
oh, you know what? That's because I wanted him to get married to the girl that didn't work out. All right.
Yeah. All right. My dad did not know how many times I was married. He said twice. Can you believe this? Jimmy, why did you think my dad would think I was married twice? You must have something going on in that head of yours.
No, because I got the same mentality he got. That's why.
What? Well, tell me.
Because, it was Bob and then there was Colette.
Oh, so you think he thought I was married to her?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I'll buy that. What's the score, Kareen?
Okay, we have a tie between Colleen and Jimmy.
Colleen
There are
and Jimmy
3.
tied?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how many right answers do they got?
3 and 3.
All right. Johnny, should we take a commercial break and then do the rest of it, or should we go through the whole thing? All right, let's keep going. All right. Next question. I asked my dad, how many kids do I have? I said, Dad, how many kids do I have? Is it 0 kids, 1 kid, or 2 kids? What do you think my dad answered? How many kids do I have?
I don't know. I'll say 1.
Okay. Jimmy, how many kids do you think my dad thinks I have?
I would say 2.
Okay. Larry?
2.
You gonna think he says 2? Pete, how many kids do you think my dad thinks I have?
0.
Okay. Everyone knows I have no children.
Right.
Let's see what my dad
That
says.
you know of.
Yeah, I know, but let's see if what my dad answers this question. Here we go. Play the clip.
You don't have any kids.
Good.
Unless you've been doing things I don't know about. Right.
That was the right answer. Well, my dad at least knew that I had no kids, so that's a good sign. So only Pete, the producer, got that one right.
Yes.
All right. Here's the next question. Will my dad know my middle name? Will my dad know my middle name? Colleen?
No.
Jimmy the Bull. Will my dad know my middle name?
No.
Larry?
Yes.
Pete, the producer.
Yes.
Okay, play the clip.
Christopher. And you know what? I got so much trouble about naming him Christopher because the word Christ is in the word Christopher. And all the Jewish side of the family were going bananas.
Did in fact know my middle name was Christopher. So that's a good sign. Yeah, he did name me.
He's not all gone yet.
No, he's not all gone yet. Yeah, that does make me feel good that my dad knew my middle name, and that I think was a positive. At least he's not going completely senile. Now, I found out something when I was doing these interviews with my dad that I didn't know. I actually just threw a question out to him. I said, Dad, why is my middle name Christopher? Where did that come from? I didn't even know there was a reason. I thought he just haphazardly made it up. There's actually a reason. I was named after a person. Okay, why I have the middle name of Christopher. Here's the question. I asked my dad, why did you choose Christopher as my middle name? Here's your 3 choices. Number 1, I was named after Christ. Okay. Number 2, I was named after Christopher Columbus. Number 3, I was named after Superman Christopher Reeve. All right. What will my dad say? Remember, I didn't know any of this. Who was I named after, Colleen?
It was Christ.
Christ, Christopher Columbus, or Christopher Reeve?
I'm going to say Superman.
Jimmy the Bull?
You would say that. Well, I'm not going to say it was Christ because you're fucking Lucifer, so that ain't going to jive. So I would say Christopher Columbus.
Larry Youshaw.
Christ.
Pete the producer. Who would my dad say I was named after?
Christopher Columbus.
Okay. Johnny, play the clip.
you're gonna laugh, right? Christopher Columbus.
So,
Because all the kids in school say, "How you do, Mr. Columbus?" So when you were born, I said, "Christopher Columbus. What else?"
all right, Christopher Columbus was the right answer. Pete, the producer, again.
Larry.
Now, for those...
And Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy got it, too. Now,
What the fuck is with you, man?
I'd like to give you credit. I want you to lose. You know that.
Christ.
My dad, they used to call him, was a teacher, obviously, and they used to call him Mr. Columbus because they didn't know Palumbo. They, Palumbo, Columbus. And so he figured, let me name my son's middle name Christopher.
Strange.
Christopher Columbus, yeah. First of all, Christopher Reeve wasn't even probably born. There was no Superman when I was born, so.
No.
Well, she just thinks you're great, so that's why.
Ah,
Exactly.
she thinks I'm Superman. I got you. All right, that's good. Cool.
I think Jimmy's in a lead now.
What's the score now?
Pete is going
Pete's in the lead?
Pete's in a lead?
How many points does Pete have?
Wow.
5,
And Jimmy the Bull?
4.
And who's in third? Colleen?
Wow.
Our scorekeeper's not doing so well over there.
There's a tie between.
Everyone else? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go to the next question. Will my dad know my ex-wife's name? Will my dad know my ex-wife's name, yes or no?
Yeah.
Jimmy the Bull?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Pete the producer? Will my dad know my wife's ex-wife's name?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, play the clip, Johnny.
Barbara.
Wow.
You know why? Because last night I was cursing Barbara Streisand. I said, "Why didn't she have her nose fixed?" I was in one of my moods. When I want to curse at the TV set, I need something to curse about. All right, Barbara. All right.
Dad did in fact know my ex-wife's name was Barbara because he remembered Barbara Streisand. So,
Well, also you lived there.
yeah, a little bit. We did live there for a little while before I was married. All right. Will my dad? Next question. Will my dad know that my sister has no middle name? Will my dad know that my sister has no middle name? Yes or no?
Yes.
Will he know that she has no middle name?
No.
Larry? Will my dad know that my sister has no middle name?
Yes.
Pete the producer.
Yes.
Play the clip, Johnny.
Do we have a different middle name? I don't remember ever giving a middle name unless she invented one behind my back.
He did indeed know my sister had no middle name. So at least he was involved in the naming process. That's a good sign. And he's not going completely senile. All right, last question. What are we at right now? Who's in the lead here? Karine.
Pete,
Pete's still in the lead by how many points?
7.
No, how many points over the next closest person?
2.
So he can't lose. Pete basically won the game.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll reward him something after when it's over. Let's do the last question.
It's fucking amazing how he wins. He didn't even know your father.
Yeah, he doesn't even never even met my dad. Maybe that's better off.
I met your dad a couple.
You did meet him. Yes.
Yeah, what, passing in the hallway?
He probably wouldn't recognize who Pete was though. But maybe Pete's more
He
observant.
has no idea who I am.
No, maybe Pete is more observant than you think, Jimmy. He picks up these things. He's very intuitive.
We don't talk, so yeah.
All right, here's the question.
Wait, Jamie. Dave's dad was hitting on my girl, so you gotta tell that story.
Yes.
My dad was was making passes at Johnny's girlfriend, Karine here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he called me up afterwards.
How could you miss her? That low-cut shirt, all that,
Is that what it was? Yeah, maybe it was the boobage.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
boobage. Maybe my dad's into women with big boobs and big butts. Right?
It's
Like
an
Johnny
American
is.
thing, like
yeah,
Johnny said.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
He gave me a kiss and everything.
He gave her a kiss on the cheek. It was an Italian kiss.
Which cheek? Which one?
Was it the right cheek?
It was here.
The face.
All right, last question. Last question. This is the last that you're going to get from my dad. The question is, will my dad know my birth date? Will my dad remember my birth date? Yes or no?
No.
Jimmy the Bull.
No.
Larry.
Yes.
Pete.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Play the clip, Johnny. Final clip of the night.
I know it's in February, but I might get it confused with your mother's birthday. You're February 17th, right?
All right, he remembered my birthday. That was made me feel really good, believe me. And Pete, the producer, wins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
8 pints.
A landslide win by Pete. He wins a free tub of isolized protein. Pete, what flavor do you want?
Oh man, that's what I want.
Chris Aceto won.
Well, actually, Chris Aceto won the home game. Chris got the most right at home. Pete won the studio game, which is a little harder, more pressure. Pete, what flavor is your favorite flavor?
Vanilla.
All right, Colleen, you'll pull out a 2-pound vanilla for Pete and maybe a T-shirt, and because Pete wins the What Would Dave's Dad game say? And Pete, congratulations on your win. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have our next guest.